All right, okay.
Hello everyone, John Donnelly is my name from your Holistic Academy. A very special guest with me today, Jacqui Taaffe. How are you doing today, Jacqui?
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Jacqui. Delighted to have this conversation today because you've got something really special coming up next week, and it's your new book launch, Inspire, Heal, Empower. Wow, what a title.
Yeah, it's tomorrow week at 7 p.m. and I'm just telling people to register because you need to pop in and register. The places are limited,
Yeah,
and it's actually at this moment in time is half sold out. Well, sold out's the wrong word. Booked, registered.
yeah.
So, please go in, please register and come and join us because I have 3 fabulous speakers, and I have a giveaway on the evening, and you must be there to get that giveaway.
Right, excellent, excellent. So, Jacqui, tell us a little bit about your journey you started this book about a year ago. The idea for the book was about a year ago.
Yeah, this maybe the second week in January, but even though it has been like fermenting in my head, gently, maybe unknown to me at times, for 36 and a half years.
Oh, wow.
But really, I wasn't ready, and I wasn't actually able to put the pieces of this, what I call it, John, it's not a book.
Yeah,
It's something more than that to me. It's a soul piece of work.
yeah,
It's very unique, and I would hope that whoever it reaches, it will inspire, heal, and empower, and that they can take elements of it that best resonates for them and apply it to them in their own lives.
yeah,
And yeah, really, on reflection, looking back right now, as it's finished
yeah,
and ready to be published and be given to the public, I know that I was only able to start the process of journaling it, which is how it happened. I just started a journal. I had like a spilling,
yeah,
as I best describe it in the book, a spilling, an outpouring through
yes,
the journals. And what I discovered as I journaled and as I continued to have this spilling, that when I looked at all this paper, because I everything's handwritten, and so if something came, I had to spill, and it was very organic and very in the moments, right? So you might have days where I would write a lot, and then I might have a couple of days where I'd have nothing.
yeah, yeah,
But what I realized was, and came really apparent to me, was that this is not just a journal. This was such a personal journey, and really the start of just slightly releasing, as in through the written word, that this had to be shared, this message had to be shared, this journey had to be shared, and some of the tools that I have learned and some of the knowledge that I've gained through my training and what I do, and how I've applied it to me, and how it's brought me to where I am right now, and has brought me right now in the last probably month to be able to verbalize it and to break the silence on it, and to say, look, this happened to me, and but it happened to me, but it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the person that brought it to me, and I've given it back. And I encourage others to read it and to take whatever pieces that they want to take for themselves, because we all have our own personal journey, and we all come to certain stages in our lives, and it's only when we know that ourselves and trust that deep knowing that we all instinctively have, but for some reason over life and growing up, we just got covered up. We got covered up by conversations, comments, ideas, opinions of others, and it's chipped away at our knowing. But that knowing is there waiting for us to step back into, and to trust, and to follow that, and to be who we want to be. And so I trusted that, and I've allowed this process to simply flow. So the book is a soul piece. It naturally flowed, and it continues to evolve over the last year. And now, only now, I can verbalize it. And I now know that looking back. And that in itself is incredible. That's something so long ago can still hide in the corridors of your mind, and you know, you might think of it on and off, but you don't actually say it to really anyone else. I only said it to a couple of people, and now the more I verbalize it now in these last few weeks, and talking to you today, and some of the podcasts that I'm doing and interviews that's coming up for me, I feel such freedom.
Yeah.
Like a weight. Like I work with clients, and every client I tend to work with keeps saying, I feel lighter. What's this lightness, Jacqui? What's this, you know, what's this heaviness that's gone from me? And I feel that in letting this part of an event in my life literally go, and I've given it back.
Yeah. Jacqui, I mean, you're creating a space for other people, if you like, by telling your story. And it's just such a courageous thing to do, to almost to expose your life, if you like, to the public. It feels like that's what you're doing sometimes, but it's such a courageous thing. But you're allowing a space for other people then, to that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be broken, but you can be healed again. That's your intention, Jacqui, with the book? Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're broken. I'd say we're actually unbreakable.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that comes to us that maybe puts little dents and dinges in us.
Yeah.
But we are fundamentally at our very core unbreakable. And it's only life circumstances that often give us a belief that maybe we are unbreakable. And because I would say, you know, that we don't get confidence, and we don't go to a course to get confidence. We already have confidence. And the one way to become confident within yourself, empowered within yourself, peaceful within yourself, I believe, is to become knowledgeable about yourself. Yeah. Because self-knowledge is self-empowerment. And when you become aware of those thoughts, the thinking you have, the behaviors that you have, when you become really aware of those, you're in a position then to change them, to regulate them, to create thinking that's going to give you, by right, the life that you want, the comfort that you want, the happiness that you want, and the peace of mind that you want. So it's about really deliberate thinking and being more deliberate in that. Yeah. So yes, I would hope that this will, for many, create a space for them. It may take a lot of doubt away for some, because what it does is I name it as it is. Like I just went to a hospital for an operation and ended up having an inappropriate, as I've called it for years, inappropriate medical examination. So I was slightly confused and doubt, because when that happens, you're confused because of the setting it's in, and you kind of go, why am I having such an internal reaction to something that from the outside you're being told is normal? Yeah. And yet I instinctively knew, no, there's something wrong here. And I've never let go of that belief. And that belief has lay silently, minded me really, nearly a coping mechanism. The doubt was a coping mechanism. And it's only now, when I was ready to share, to write, and now to verbalize, which I've only found I can do now. Now was my time to verbalize it. But this had to be done first. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean everybody has to go write a book and do it. That's not what I'm saying. But the journal, the actually writing it down, is so powerful if you start to journal. So I would recommend to anybody, get your journal. It doesn't have, it can be anything you want it to be. It can be any size you want it to be. It is your personal journal. But if you have some thoughts and ideas going around in your head that are not benefiting you, get them down, start writing them down. Yeah.
So it's almost like you can sort of step outside of it, Jacqui, and look at it from as an observer almost, and almost observe your thoughts rather than just keep on regenerating them all the time. So that process has been very powerful for you, yeah?
Well, Yeah, and that's a piece I get into in the book. When you become the observer of yourself, you're able to look at it from many perspectives, and you're also able to look at it because you're detached, and you're able to ask yourself questions about it, whereby if you were in it, you'd be swimming in it, you'd be covered up in it, and you'd be, you might find yourself anxious or confused or whatever. But when I became separate from it and could start to look in and to say, well, realistically, Jacqui,
Yeah.
what had any of those events to do with you? What did you do to bring this into your life? And when you start to ask yourself questions like that, it's like, well, I'm here. I didn't own any of this. Like, I was simply in the situation at that time, at that moment. And that's how I was affected.
Yeah.
And so it's powerful to become, the observer of yourself, to detach yourself and to be able to look at situations where you're nearly emotionally detached as well, which is usually beneficial, because when we're emotionally in it and upset and all the other things that will come with it, like shame, doubt, all of those things, it's very difficult to try and get your ground and to come back up. So it's been a huge process, and I go into it in some of the chapters, and it's my wish and intention that as people read it, that they may say, oh, and get something within it for themselves that will really bring them back to who they truly are. Because you know this, John, like, we are all incredible. And I mean that when I say that. It's just that, like, what happened that we're all going around thinking that we're not? That should be the bigger question. When did we arrive thinking, that we weren't incredible? And what is the benefit of me telling myself I'm not incredible? When did I get used to having a conversation with myself that puts me down? When did I take that on? When did I accept that? And when you start to kind of say, well, I'm not going to accept that, because none of us talk to anybody else cruelly. None of us talk to our friends like that. So why should we talk to ourselves like that?
Yeah. So you mentioned the word self-empowerment, Jacqui. So self-empowerment, then, what does self-empowerment mean to you? It's finding that essence of who you are, finding that deeper self, that deeper knowing within yourself.
It's not even having to think. It's like, say today, to come on to talk to you, to comfortably just come on and sit and have a conversation with you without a lot of stuff going on in the background going, Jacqui, what are you going to say? Sure, you have nothing of value to say. You don't matter. You're stupid. Like, that is when you come to a space in yourself where you're actually, no, I'm okay. I'm just simply going to show up. I'm simply going to have a conversation with John. John and I are going to chat. It's just like me and John in the living room at home, me and you together, John. And not getting into all the outside factors. So John's going on Facebook Live. Who's going to be looking? If I say something, will it be wrong? If it's wrong, will somebody not like it? What did you do? It's a calmness. I have found I'm calm, I'm peaceful, and I'm okay. And I'm okay if I say something, if I make a mistake, if I trip up on my words. I'm okay with that. And because people will still come to me if they like me. That doesn't matter. So to invest any other energy in sort of something else is distracting me from my peace of mind, and really just being here, having a conversation with you, and just comfort, peace, and knowing, a deep, deep knowing that whatever you do, whatever you say, you are being true to yourself when you're saying it.
Beautiful.
And don't get into other outside factors. If I say that, they'll say this, and start to give answers to conversations that you haven't even had. And just trust that the conversation that you're going to have will be.
And you mentioned the word trust, Jacqui. Trust is, so you've built that trust into your life now, and obviously it takes a bit of a journey. It's a journey to get to that point where you can just have that trust, total trust in yourself.
Elements of me the other version of me would have trusted certain elements, but I've really looked at this trust, just to trust that things will naturally evolve, to allow, just to trust, and that trust has a feeling. It's nearly just saying to you, yeah, that's okay. That's okay, or this is not okay. It's nearly like an inner guidance, and it's simply just to trust. And I've written a poem on trust. Would you like me to read it?
I'd love to hear it.
Now I have to go find the page, John, but it's here.
It's in the book, yeah?
Yeah, but I have to go find the page, and glasses would be good, wouldn't it? Because otherwise I'll not be able to read it for you. And I've written this, and I do love it. And when I wrote it, I loved it, and I still love it. And that's okay for me to love it, because it's mine. And that is about that self-empowerment, that inner confidence within yourself, that whatever you do, whatever you create, that you're okay with it. You don't have to worry about what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
That's a real sense of it. And you do it from that space and that place within yourself, that creative space. And when you do that, I think that's where your true power lies. So trust. What is trust? Trust is not a destination. You will not find trust signposted with a set of directions. You will not find trust by listening to others. Trust is magical. It's greater than the things you can see and touch. Trust is intangible. Trust cannot be touched nor seen, yet you know when you feel it. You know you have it. Trust. Trust gives you an incredible inner sense and feeling that it's okay and everything will work out. Trust is your inside gift available to you 24/7. Trust will be one of your most powerful and incredible advocates and guides. Listen closely and attentively to it when it speaks to you. Above all, trust.
Love it, Jane. I love it. Yeah, beautiful.
So I like that, John. So
thank you so much.
So there's some little poems throughout the book that I would like you to think about.
Tell me about the cover of the book, Jacqui. It looks amazing. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's early last year, when I realized that this was just more than journal entries, and it was something that had to be shared, and my intention is for to reach and to help those who need to read it, and for those too who doubt themselves in lives and question themselves and don't step into that full potential of themselves. This book is for them too, to not doubt yourself and to treat doubt maybe as you're just as a shy friend, maybe, but you don't allow it to stop you and block you from being who you want to be in your life. And as this book was created, I knew instantly the cover had to be created by my friend Breda Marin. She's Irish soul artist. So Breda's a sculptor as well, so she's a very gifted lady, but she does soul paintings. And what you do is you simply set your intention of whatever it is that you want, and she takes that intention away and she'll come back with a painting. And she came back with this for me. It's the lotus flower.
Beautiful.
And with that comes a letter. And the letter, I have to say, it's quite incredible. It complements some of what I have in the book. So I would recommend that, as something personal for yourself to have at home. It's a lovely thing to do. And so it's a soul painting. The cover of the book is a soul painting.
Wow.
And that's why I say it's not a book, it's a soul piece. Because each page, each image, the cover, everything about it has been really just, it has come from the heart. It has come from the heart. And I mean, I have to trust now, when I let this go, that it lands there with that intention. It's not, it's not to upset, offend, it's to get people to think, it's to talk about an event in my life that is really unspoken about, and to highlight it and to share the journey. And there's a great toolkit in there that you can take with you and use in your life. And it's inspiring, to be honest. Yeah.
Brilliant, Jacqui. And like you're a life coach, Jacqui, and so you're basically bringing your life experience into your work, which is, I think, is incredible. So what you talked about the tools in the book. What tools are you talking about there that are going to inspire people?
Well, we're going to get into your thoughts, this thinking that we do. It is a muscle. It is a muscle that we should use, just like we exercise our body, just like we feed our body good food. We need to feed our mind. Yeah. We need to exercise that muscle. That is our mind. Our thinking is usually powerful, and what we think about, we create. Yeah. So when we become really, really aware of what it is that we're thinking, well, then we start to become very conscious of making the right choices of thought for ourselves, because thoughts have energies, frequencies, feelings, and emotions. So if a thought is negative, it's going to give you a negative emotion. Yeah. So it's really becoming mindful that what you feed your mind with is positive, uplifting, and I would call it a rise frequency. It will make you feel happy. And we can do that, very simply. We can put ourselves into a state of calm and happiness if we just simply we don't have to close our eyes, but we can close our eyes. Do it now, John, and bring yourself back to a moment where you were usually happy. You're going to close your eyes, John. Mm. And visualize who was with you. Were you on your own? Were you with family? Were you hugging? What were you wearing? What were the smells? Visualize that, and then put your attention right down into that feeling, what that feeling's like. Do you want to stay there, John, now, or come back to me?
I guess I really didn't want to come back, Jacqui.
How did you find that?
I was in the most beautiful place. I was on the beach in Australia, and it was about 30 degrees and hot sand under my feet. And wow, it was just incredible, beautiful. The sun was shining, blue sky. It was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, wow.
So when we become quite deliberate in when we can shift our mood, that we can actually deliberately sit, choose and move, shift from a state of into that mood, that becomes usually powerful. And with that, it's a combination of thoughts and emotions that you can combine. So there's the toolkit has that. There's reference to giving up, giving back, what doesn't belong to me, letting go, and forgiveness. Yeah. So the book is not about the person, perpetrator that came in and did that inappropriate internal examination that day. The book's not about them. I don't give them any attention. I give my full attention to you, to the reader, and to the person who needs to hear the message, because that's where all my attention needs to go, not to him. He has no value to me. And that's when I take my power back. And that's when the 15-year-old, because that's all I was only 15, I was a minor at the time. That's when the 15-year-old took her power back too, because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. So I am excited. Yeah.
Brilliant, Jacqui. And tell me about your days now. I mean, obviously you've done a lot of coaching work, but what is your day now? Like, you've got so much joy and inspiration in your own life now. And obviously you're very much a family person, Jacqui. You've talked to me before about your family. So that's the center of your existence is that family unit, I guess, is it? And your clients.
My daughter, what can I say? I mean, it's, one of my highest values, it's my family. My daughter, my husband, and then it's like, you know, we're not without our day challenges. Life happens, situations happen, and we manage them. What is really apparent and clear to me is, with the information I have, with the knowledge I have, the skill sets I've developed, it has really helped me to manage those daily challenges and get through them and still be able to go back into those joyful moments.
Yeah.
So that we can have a moment where we're a little bit shaken or rocked. And that's okay. But then we shift very quickly back into that state of, you know, appreciation and being grateful for the things that I have. And I just absolutely adore. My daughter now has drawn an image for the book, in the book, and she's got some inspiring wisdom that she shared with me when I decided to make this public, and I had to include it in the book. So look, what can I say? I love my family, adore my family, and the skills that we have really help us, because what I find is we end up having very raw, honest conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I will just name it as it is.
Yeah.
And say, right, let's sit down, and that's hugely powerful and in healing for anybody, because you're saying it as it is rather than navigating around it. And it's like the elephant in the room, you know, and you can go around the elephant in the room, but it's until you look at the elephant and say, well, right, let's deal with this, then that suppression, that burden, that heaviness lifts.
Yeah.
And knowing that, and still loving, because, you know, what can I say? Yeah, I adore Carol. You know, I adore her, and doesn't she know it? But it doesn't mean I won't have moments where I'll say, now let's sit down, let's talk about this. You know, so it's about balance, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. And then your coaching work, Jacqui, is it mostly one-to-one coaching you do, is it, or is it group coaching?
It was one-to-one, but I'm moving into group, and I love small groups. So I had a small workshop last night. And it was lovely, it was intimate, and I love to do that because I feel then everybody gets as much attention as possible, and also have great opportunity to feedback where they're at, what they thought, and it just gives more time. So I'm moving into small groups as well. Yeah. But I do love the one-to-one. It's powerful and it's magical.
Yeah. And what sort of clients come to you now, Jacqui? Or do you find, is there a mix of clients, or what sort of clients do come to you now?
There's just a mix, because I do life coaching. So as I would say to people, when somebody comes to me, regardless of, you know, whether it was a career or something personal, I have a human being sitting in front of me. Yeah. And every element of our lives, whatever roles we're in, all have effects and impacts on what we do. And if one part of it's not working for you, it's going to have an impact on the other part. Yeah. So I sit with a person, a human being, as a whole, and we go from there. And it's powerful stuff. Yeah. And I think the clients that I've worked with would say the same. But you could see some of the testimonials anyway, they speak for themselves. Yeah.
Brilliant, Jacqui. I obviously love having these conversations, and I'm delighted that you're part of the project that we're with, your Holistic Academy, and so excited for your launch for your book next week. I think it's going to be incredible, and obviously we want to support you in whatever we can. But you're doing an amazing job on social media, Jacqui. Did you teach yourself social media, or did you get someone to help you with that? Because you're doing a fantastic job on social media.
Well, there's two kind of strands to that. So it's really learning social media. So as I've gone along, I'm nearly self-taught. Yeah. I've always kind of known, you know, even I have somebody, Copper Tops, they're brilliant, and they've created the website. But initially I knew exactly what I wanted the website to look like. So in detail, I kind of knew what way I wanted it to look, and they took those ideas and they created then the website for me. And then after that, for the last couple of years, I have done all my own social media stuff. And that is through learning, making errors, and going back. And you might see me actually doing a Facebook Live saying, I don't know whether I'm even live. But that's okay. And then I'll go off. But it's okay, because we have to start somewhere. And we all start at the beginning of whatever we do. So it doesn't matter. And and I encourage people to do that, because that's what could stop us to say, but I'm only starting off and they're over there. And no, you need to start, and we all have a first day. So just go do it. So that is very much self-taught. Any of my videos, all my own posts, all my own creation. I love to go into that headspace, that creative space, and I love to think.
Yeah.
You know this, John. I love to think, and I love to challenge my thinking. If I'm thinking one way, well, why am I thinking that way? Is that really the right way I should think? Or could I think that way? And I want to be challenged on it.
Yeah.
So I love that, because then I get a new awareness. I'll go, oh yeah, I didn't see it from that point of view.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of weeks, I've had Copper Tops helping me with the social media drive for the book.
Yeah.
So I have Andrea and Kira, and they've been great. So once I'm back and forth, want this, want that, to promote it, to try and get it out, to reach as many people as I can. And because it is so beneficial to somebody who will read it, and to drive that. But a lot of it was self-taught, and still is. Yeah. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant, Jacqui. Yeah. So listen, Jacqui, the launch is next week. So tomorrow week, isn't it? The 18th, is it?
18th at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yeah.
The book goes live.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it, Jacqui. I can't wait. I'm delighted now. I'm so looking forward to reading it, Jacqui. And listen, thank you so much. We'll put the comments and in the comments how you can connect with you through your website and through your Facebook and social media. Yeah.
Please do, and share the link of the book, and share the link to register for the launch. Yeah. Just that places are filling up fast. Yeah. And if somebody would like to come, I'd love them to get a spot. But if they don't, and the places are limited and it closes off, what we're going to do is we're going to go live through Facebook on the night. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, anybody that will be on the Facebook end of it rather than actually physically at the Zoom event, they're only going to be included in the giveaways that I'm going to do on the night, because we're giving away a nice giveaway. But you must be there. Yeah.
So, guys, anybody who's watching, now's the time to register before the event fills, because the event is going to surely sell out, Jacqui. There's so many people looking forward to this launch, so it is definitely going to fill. So please, guys, if you're watching, now's the time to register. We'll put the links with the video, with this video. And Jacqui, thank you so much. I am so looking forward to it, and it's incredible working with you. I'm delighted that you're part of our project, and looking forward to many more days of speaking together, working together, and a real hug in the real world, Jacqui. Yeah.
Yeah, John, we will meet. We will meet eventually, but everything I believe is for a reason. So when we do meet, we'll actually have a party. That's what we'll do. We just won't meet. We'll just have a party, will we?
We will indeed, Jacqui. Thank you so much, Jacqui, and we'll talk to you very soon. Yeah.
Okay, John. Thank you.
Thank you.